Joshua Masandawana, welcome back to the Yellow Corner. We're back for a new season, hopefully bigger and better. And to improve our content and make it better, we've made a few changes. We've added a few things. Like we said on the season preview, you'll be seeing more faces, you'll be seeing more content from us. And going forward on the Yellow Corner, once in a while we'll have guests that we'll discuss the opponents with. It won't be on every installment, but on some of our installments. And today we're joined by none other than Pro Philani. I'm sure, if you don't know Pro Philani, I don't know, man. On Twitter, it's Pro Philani. He does in the Coca-Cola space where they chat about football with the guys like Unkept Gulova. A very informative space. He also has a football live chats with Pro on Instagram and on his YouTube channel. Pro, welcome, Fit.
Thank you so much, my brother, for having me. It's been a while since I've been here. I think the last time I was on the vlog was the season preview or what? No, it wasn't a preview. But it was a long time. Yeah? It's been a long time. It's good to be here. Yeah.
No, man, we're really happy that we have you with us. Rabs, how are you?
I'm good. Wena?
No, I'm good, man. You ready for the new season?
I'm ready. Go ahead. I'm looking up to this season against AmaZulu.
Yeah, Paul, before we get into Usutu, I just wanna today the news came out that Ushuga won't be playing. I'm not sure whether he's retiring or what, but it looks like he is, but he'll still be a part of the club. Anything to say regarding Ushuga as a person, as a player, as a Sundowns legend?
Ushuga is one of the most loved Sundowns players. I enjoyed watching Ushuga a lot, and I enjoyed his charisma as well off the field. And hearing the news that he's now going to be some sort of an ambassador of a team, being involved in social responsibilities, I think it is a great gesture by the club. Look. We can all agree he was not going to get as many minutes as he would have loved, and also we know that age was no longer on his side. You can see now the young Rivaldo Kutsie is owning that position. You can see Abu Andy, Lebumabo, Kulisi, they're all owning those midfield positions. So it was going to be hard for Ushuga, and you can also we need to accept Uguti era. Of those players, the 2016 players has come to an end. And the sooner we accept that, the better. And for me, I'm grateful to the club for giving him another opportunity to work at the club, and hopefully he's going to excel. I know that he's a kind of guy that excels in every space that he occupies.
True, man. I couldn't have put it any better, Hopefully, the guys in the dressing room took a lot from Ushuga, man. He was one of our captains without the armband, Yeah, so all the best to Ushuga. We really appreciate what he did for the club, Yeah, we open the season, the 2021-2022 season against our fellow Champions League brothers Usutu, and yeah, it's going to be a big game, a difficult one, But looking at their preseason, I will also include the MTN 8. You look at the Kings Cup that they participated in. I think you were there when they played the Kings Cup. What's your take on how their preseason has gone? Also adding the MTN 8 loss into that.
It was actually the Premier Cup, not the Kings Cup. The Kings Cup is usually played by Sundowns. The Premier Cup is exclusively for KZN teams, and it was a very interesting tournament for AmaZulu. Interesting in a sense that the club is beginning now to bid for the CAF Champions League. If you listen to everybody at AmaZulu talk, they talk about the CAF Champions League, and that's one thing that they want to achieve. They want to do well in the CAF Champions League, and I know that Benny joked that if Chiefs could have gone to the final with that squad that they had, Bona, they would want to go one step better. That was a joke, but I'm sure Chiefs fans did not welcome that joke. They did not find it funny. But the club, even with the way that the club recruited players, you can see that the focus is purely on the CAF Champions League. They want to do well there. And the loss in the MTN 8, it had an element of overconfidence, if I were to put it that way. There were moments where players were talking amongst each other, and they felt that they've already won the MTN's quarterfinal against Cape Town City. There was an element of arrogance in their language, and this is a good wake-up call for the players, most importantly. And I think it was premature for them to be this arrogant at the beginning of the season. They still need to prove themselves more as a team, and you know that even the technical team, they still need to prove themselves because they did not achieve what was expected of them. I think finishing in the top 2 is not only what the club aimed to achieve. I think winning a cup as well would have been a great achievement for the club. But I think the success of the season went into their heads a little bit. That is why even with the preparations, the club had an element. I think the players had an element of undermining Cape Town City, hence they lost. But you know what? I can tell you now, AmaZulu, they've assembled a very, very strong squad. Very, very, very good players. If you look at Coach Benny is raving about Pro Philani and the role that he's going to play at left back, because Tsepo Maselela will not give you as many games like he used to in 2010 or 2011. And you look at the youngster Tsepang Moremi, left wing. He was on loan at Bizana Pondo Chiefs last season. What an exciting youngster. You look at specifically Maduna. There's another Zungu kid that they also promoted from their MGC team. They are young players. They've got exciting young players. You look at in the heart of midfield, they've got Maketleni Makaula, Butolezwe Ncube, they've got Kolam Lambo, whom I think has not done well at AmaZulu at the moment. I think he needs to pull up his socks in order for the club to be at the level that they desire to be. You look at, I'm not sure that I've mentioned specifically Maduna. You look at Stebe. Stebe has raised his game. I think being selected for Ikosafa also helped him a lot, because you can see now the attitude has changed, the behavior and the way he thinks, the way he behaves on the pitch. I think 2 seasons back, and even last season, I was one of the people who was criticizing Stebe because he was busy on the field, but he was never constructive. He was never helping the team move a step higher. He was not even creating enough opportunities. But you can see now he feels like he's a senior player. He is behaving like a senior player. He is making less costly mistakes, and he's decisive on the box. He doesn't over-elaborate like he used to do before. So you can see that AmaZulu are now getting a more mature squad. Majoro up front has reinvented himself, rejuvenated. He is running tirelessly now. You look at Spam Tembo. You call him by the name of the king, which is wrong. But Spay has done exceptionally well in the preseason, and I've seen his attitude. I saw during the launch, the club GM sat down with this Pelelem Tembo for like an hour. They were having a chat. You could see the club now is relying on him as the main man up front, and they had a very, very, very lengthy chat. And I was worried a little bit, but when I saw him playing in the KZN Premier Cup, I could see the attitude, I could see the energy, I could see the drive, I could see the fire in his eyes. It was this is a news Pelelem team that is going to surprise a lot of people and a lot of teams in the upcoming season. So we really need to prepare well for this one.
Wow. You mentioned Tshepang Moremi. I know why he's so good.
He's a valve boy.
I was about to say that's why he's so good.
I know.
Rapelang, in the preseason tournament that AmaZulu played, and also in the MTN 8, in the first game in the semi-final of the preseason tournament, they conceded 2 goals. In the final, I think it was against Arrows. In the final against Maritzburg, they conceded 2 goals again. Again on Sunday in the MTN 8 quarterfinal, they conceded 2 goals. So in the last 3 games that we've seen, they've conceded 6 goals. What do you take from that?
Look, for us, I think we can benefit from their mistakes, and also conceding 6 goals in 3 games. So it speaks a lot about how they defend and also how they manage games. You look at against Cape Town City, first half, in the first 10 minutes, they conceded a goal which I felt they could have defended better, like a left back, from Cape Town City, coming from a deep position and traveling with the ball, passing through about 4 or 5 players of AmaZulu and getting a goal. So it speaks a lot about how they defend. And also they had a chance to make a technical foul and take a yellow card for the team. So I think Benny and his technical team should repair his defense. And facing Mamelodi Sundowns, you gotta prepare very well, because of this is a team that likes to dominate and create a lot of chances.
Yeah, true. Lena, I read a lot into that. They have one of the best goalkeepers, if not currently the best goalkeeper in the country in Veli. So I think it has more to do with the defense than Veli himself. But yeah, Paul. Last season we played Usutu twice. The first match, Benny wasn't the coach. We beat them 4-3. In the second game, we played 0-0 in Durban. Which Usutu do you think we should expect on Friday between the 2 that we played last season?
The one that we played at goalless draw against at Johnson Kings Park Stadium. Remember, Uguti, in that game we played a goalless draw. They hit the post through Umulenga. And remember, Uguti, on the other end, Modiba had an opportunity to punish them. Shalulile had an opportunity to punish them. Mshishi had an opportunity to punish them. So if we were to count chance versus chance, we had more chances than them, but they were very busy in the middle of the park. Makaula was kicking everything that moved, and but even in the match that we beat them 4-3, if Makaula was calmer, he was not going to try to kick Umshishi with the ball at his feet. He was going to control the ball and clear the ball well. In one of the goals that Umshishi scored. So there's this element of trying to neutralize everything that Sundowns does in the midfield and try to kick everything that is moving. I think the attitude should be different with the AmaZulu team, because Sundowns players are smarter. They know how to play in tight places. They know how to play against aggressive players. So in my humble opinion, I think the AmaZulu that played the 0-0 draw against us is the one that is going to pitch up, the one that is going to try and high press us, the one that is going to be aggressive, the one that is going to try to catch us in the counter. But believe me, they've got a weakness themselves. Their centre-back pairing, Mkwazelwa, Toki, you can even put in Zava or the young Sandile Kumalo. Those players have not been doing well. I think the 6 goals that we are talking about, those guys were the centre-back pairing that has been playing for AmaZulu, and we can all agree, Uguti, it hasn't been good for them at the back. Sometimes they play a makeshift centre-back in Tsepo Masilela, but still it doesn't solve the challenges or the problems that they have in the centre-back position. But believe me, they will be fighting And as usual, because when you play against the champions, people try their level best to level the fields.
True. Rapelang, Pro has touched on their weaknesses. From your side, are there any that you've picked up from last season since Benny started going into the new season as well from the the preseason tournament?
I think the negatives that I saw in the previous season and that I saw again in one of the preseason games and the MTN 8 game is that the center back pairing, there's no communication, and also they lack anticipation when they have to deal with crosses or any danger inside the box. And also I want to speak about how they attack. Like, this is a team that is full of energy, exciting players, and when they push forward, they forget that they leave those dangerous spaces where teams can punish them. You look at the goal that they considered in the second half, in the late, it was about 2 minutes remaining before the game ends. Instead of being calm and maybe trying to take the game to the extra time, they wanted to push forward and get the win. And this is where Philani Zulu lost the ball in the dangerous position, and Cape Town City regained possession and they capitalized. And this is one of the mistakes that we saw even in the previous season.
Yeah, no, they as good a team as they are, defensively they are not that they are not where I think Coach Benny would expect them to be. There are a few things that I picked up. One is that they give a lot of they leave a lot of space in the 18. You find that the opponents sometimes outnumber them in the 18, and they offer opponents a lot of chances in the 18. They give. Another thing is Ukoki as a leader. I think he's not always switched on. He's not always switched on during the game, and they give away possession in really, really crucial areas of the field. And you honestly can't afford to do that when you play against a team like Sundowns. You need to limit the number of chances that you give Sundowns, and again, the conceding of a lot of goals. But with that said, Paul, like you've said, they've assembled a tremendous squad. What are their strengths?
Before I tell you about their strength, I just want to reiterate the point that you've just made, where you said they give away possession cheaply. In the final, KZN Premier Cup final, AmaZulu were in possession. Kogi had the ball. Instead of passing the ball wide to Kekana, he tried to play a ball diagonal. And that ball landed on Marisbeck player. Keuti played the ball to Rowan Human. Rowan Human flicked the ball, a split defensive pass between Kogi and Mkwazela, and the ball went straight to Uzuma, who finished on a 1v1. Those are mistakes that we are talking about. They are a problem for AmaZulu. AmaZulu midfield going forward, they are one of the most exciting teams you can watch in the PSL. I think if you can take their defensive four and put it aside, you can write a nice book about AmaZulu. Their midfield, their goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. In my opinion, he deserves to be Bafana Bafana. Whether as a number one or a number two, it's a debate for another day. But very much deserves to be in the Bafana Bafana squad. In my opinion, he's one of the goalkeepers on form at the moment. Now, let's jump the defense because we know it's their weakness. Let's look at their midfield. Makaula, consistent player. Stebe, consistent player. Amico Memela, consistent player. Augustine Mulenga, consistent player. Now you can see the firepower, you can see the energy, you can see how these players exchange in possession, you can see how they move off the ball. You can see with these guys, when they're trying to find spaces, they can penetrate any side easily. Go up front, you find a Hloni Majoro, you find a Bongintuli, you find a Sprelem Tembu and Bongintuli are your typical number 9s. They stay in the box. You give them one opportunity, they punish you. Majoro is good at chasing and closing spaces. He's good at pressing as well. And with our defense that likes to play the ball most of the time, Majoro can be an annoyance of note. But with Umtembu and Untuli, we can afford to build from the back. But with Majoro around, it can be tricky.
Remember the goal that he scored at Loftus last season?
Yes, exactly. That's Majoro. He can be an annoyance for us. You also look at the way they like to press the men on the ball in midfield. I think that is the way that they are going to play. They will want to press us in midfield. Remember, the Loftus pitch is wide, and it allows them to run. And that's what the AmaZulu team wants to do. They want to run. So, for me, that is their strength. They've got a solid midfield. They've got a diverse front two, and they've got strong wingers. They've got a good number 10 in Memela. Who knows? Maybe they might surprise us with an extent. They still have a Buchanan in midfield who is very good with diagonal balls. Remember, we failed to deal with Nange against Chiefs. Nange was playing passing at will. There's a Buchanan who's got similar qualities. Can we deal with him? I don't know. Or maybe we'll play a different midfield pairing. I don't know. But I want us, if Buchanan is there, we must have players in midfield who can close Buchanan early so that he doesn't spray those passes behind our defense for Augustine Mulenga, for Majoro, or for especially Maduna, who might come on the right. So it's going to be interesting how we cope with their strength, because in my opinion, midfield and forward and the combinations in midfield and the pressure that their forwards bring in every game they play is their strength.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you, Pro. Raps, for you, who is their key player? Who is the player to watch for AmaZulu?
I think, according to me, the key player is Luvuyo Memela and Lehlono Majuro, because of you look at how they combine in the final third, like the interchange of passes, and also the movement of Lehlono Majuro when Memela has the ball. There's a pass that Memela played for Majuro in the 53rd minute of the game. That's what you'd want to see more from Memela and Majuro. But you are not gonna see that when you play Memela too wide. Memela should play central behind Majoro, where he can combine easily with front players, and where he can dish out a through ball or maybe take a chance on goal. So I think a player like Memela will be very key for AmaZulu, and also a player like Stebe, like will he press Rivaldo Kotia like how he did with Tatu Mukeke, or will he try to let Rivaldo have the ball and maybe they press the likes of Moshe, Domingo, or any other offensive player that we have? So I think a guy like Sitebe off the ball, I would like to see him off the ball in terms of pressing one of our 6 or any other 8 that will play against AmaZulu.
Interesting.
And remember, Memela loves playing against us.
Yeah.
That's another problem.
It's interesting that you didn't mention Augustine, who I believe was one of the best players from last season. His goal contribution was really amazing. You know, he had a brilliant season. But yeah, Paul, moving on to how you think they will line up. How do you think Benny will set up his team? Who will be who will be in that starting 11? But before we go there, I didn't see Ushus on the bench. Ukumet, I didn't see Umzava. And then I was watching a front runner, and Ukabza mentioned that there are a few, not even a few, a lot of AmaZulu players who are in quarantine. Are those guys injured? What's going on? The two I mentioned.
To be honest with you, I have not worried my sources about the availability of those players, because you know the conflict of interest. They might think I'm spying for somebody else. So when it comes to this picture, we don't communicate. We mute each other on WhatsApp and all those kind of things. But if I were to give you the possible lineup, I think they will have Veli, right back. They are going to have, I think they are going to play a three centre backs.
Okay.
It's going to be an interesting one. Let me tell you how I think they will line up. Right wing back, they are going to have Kekana. Right centre back, they are going to have Umkwazela. Centre back, they might have Kogi. Left centre back, I think they will have Tsepo Masilela, or they might have Mzava if he's available. Left wing back, they will have Philani Zulu. The midfield is going to be Umakawula as a 6. The 2-8 will be Ustebe and Ukike Buchanan. I think those guys will play as double 8s, and Memela will play as a 10, and Mulenga might start on the bench on this one, and Umajoro will be leading the front. And that's what I think. That's how I think they are going to set up, because AmaZulu would want to play this game in 3 phases. They would want to keep the score at 0-0 at halftime, and second half they are going to play in 2 phases where they look for an early goal and then try to park the bus. If they don't get an early goal in the second half, they might look at finding a winner in the dying minutes. Remember that they will be playing in a different altitude altogether. So they would want to keep their pacey players on the bench and try to bring them in the last dying minutes of the game, because you know that when you play against Sundowns, it's easy to score in the last 10 minutes of the game. If you can check our statistics, our last 10 minutes of the game, that is when we've been conceding a lot of goals. But we will see. But I think AmaZulu are going to pack that defense, and they will make sure that they go for a 0-0 scoreline at halftime. If they get an early goal in the first half, they might not change the formation. But believe me, in the second half, if they don't get the goal in the second half, they will change the formation to maybe a 4-3-3 with Mulenga and maybe a Maduna or a Mtembu coming in the second half. That is when they will try and sneak in a goal or 2. But that's the lineup that I expect from them.
Really formidable lineup. Eh? Yeah, Paul, before we let you go, man, your predictions for this match?
Prediction for this one, 2-0 to Sundowns.
2-0 to Sundowns. I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take that. That will be a great start to
Sundowns. I think Shalulile will get us a praise.
Okay, all right.
Because of their weak defense, they've got a very, very weak centre back pairing.
That's sound, man. Pro, thank you very much again for joining us, man. Hopefully it won't be as long as it was before we see you on the vlog again, eh?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Raps, for welcoming me, Jen. You know that eVlog, it's one of those platforms that gave a lot of us an opportunity. We were given an opportunity. We spoke about the game. People noticed. People gave us an ear. And look, I hope that this this platform give a lot of us an opportunity to talk about our club more. And keep serving the custard, guys. We love it.
All right. Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your day. Raps.
Sure.
Raps, let's talk about our team. Mamelodi Sundowns, the mighty Mamelodi Sundowns. First game of the 5-game block. The 5 games that we're playing in this game block: AmaZulu home, Cheaper away, Chiefs home, Galaxy home, and Pirates away. How many points would you be satisfied with from this game block?
I will take 12, but we are going to collect 15.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I've gone for 13. I think we'll get 13, just like we did in the first game block, last season. Tell me, for you, how important is it to have a good start to the season?
It is very important. I think winning against Kaizer Chiefs in the preseason tournament, it already a great start for us, but league, it is a different ball game. So I think winning the first games, it is a positive start, because of when you go to the next games, you know that you have done well in your previous game and you have collected 3 points, and it gives you confidence in order to play the upcoming games as well.
Yeah, true. I think a good start sets you up for the season. A good start for us. Ebola spirit is the opponents. They already think, hey, these ones, you know how they are. Once they are on a roll, and like if they start on a high, they get their form. As the season progresses, you won't do anything to them in the final laps of the season. So I think it's very key that we start the season on a high. I listened to post-match press conference, Coach Mangoa, and he was talking about the left backs. He mentioned Ngobeni, Lyle, and Lunga, but he didn't mention Maphosa. Is Maphosa now at 10? Is that the position that he plays at Sundowns, 10?
He played one of our biggest games last season as a left back against Al, and his best performance came against SuperSport, where he played as a 10. So I think because of he is very versatile, he can play those two positions very well. So I would like to see how will they use him, but I think more often he'll be used as a 10.
I actually enjoyed watching him on Saturday. I saw quite a lot of people complaining about how he played, but I actually enjoyed watching him on Sunday. I meant to say,
especially second half.
Yeah, like for nothing throughout the game until he was substituted, because I felt like he held the ball. He didn't release the ball unnecessarily. He made the right decisions. He moved around. His movement. I really enjoyed watching Maphosa, man. Yeah. On a sour note, listening to the commentators during the game, they mentioned Lebo and that he has an issue in Achilles, and if that's true, man, he might be out for a while, man. Hopefully it's not serious and we have him back as soon as possible. How do we beat AmaZulu on Friday?
Like you have said, they have problems in the defense, and we want to capitalize from their mistakes. Try to get an early goal from AmaZulu, because of we have seen how they lose concentration, and also how they are not switched up in the first 10 minutes of the game. and in the last 10 minutes of the game. And also how we beat AmaZulu, I think we put more pressure on the likes of Makaula and their defense to make mistakes. And you look at the guys like Oki and Mgwazela, these are the guys who are not comfortable on the ball. Like they prefer clearing the ball. And also Philani Zulu, he holds up the ball too long, and when you press him, you stand a chance of reclaiming the position and also getting a goal. I think we shouldn't allow them to reach the ball, to reach the middle field. I think we should high press them and force them to make mistakes. And a guy like Buchanan, don't give him those spaces to play those diagonal balls. And also watch out for the late runs, and also the movement of Hlompho Majoro up front, because of Hlompho Majoro is a player that likes to chase for the ball. So you should cut the supply, then Majoro won't do anything. So like Cape Town City did in the first half, they cut the supply, and Majoro didn't get any balls, and hence in the when the second half was about to start, they had a short meeting with players. He looked very frustrated because of he didn't get any balls from the midfielder. So you want to cut the supply, and this you stand a chance of defeating AmaZulu.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything that you've said, except for one thing. High pressing them. I actually think we shouldn't high press them. Let me tell you why. Ne? I'm not saying we should defend from maybe in between the 18 and the center line. No. High press them in the sense, we normally have Shaluli Lemo who D, and then you have the 10 2 on the corners, the 18. I wouldn't do that. I would actually have the 10 really close to the if Badala can talk the fullbacks, really close to the fullbacks, and then allow them to start play with, allow Veli to pass one of the center backs, and then set a trap. Once I pass one of them, that's when removal fast. So I wouldn't close them down more 18 and give them a set a trap or banana or no. We are not close enough, like they can come out. Once they do that, you know why? Because they give away possession cheaply in those areas, AmaZulu. Because if you press them high from a goal kick, like you have the 10 how 9 how more just outside the box, what's Veli going to do? He's going to play a long ball, which is going to be everyone's ball. So trap them into thinking, oh no, we can play out. And then once they pass Mgwazela or Kapel or Koik, then because they give away possession. And then another thing, I think the team that played Kasandi against Into wasn't balanced in a way. They had 3 central midfielders and 1 winger. So Sitebe, Naleka side thing, he was initially on the side, but as one of the midfielders. So maybe overload whichever side he plays in, because he's always going to be tucked inside. So if he's on the right, because there were instances where he swapped Limeme on Sunday. If he's on the right, we overload. If he's on the left, we overload. So I think that's how we can go about beating AmaZulu. Your preferred, the lineup that you think we will field?
I'll have Dennis Onyango as my number 1.
I don't think Dennis is going to play. Sorry, I don't think Dennis. The commentators mentioned something about his finger, so I don't think he's going to play.
All right, I'd continue with Kidini Mweni. Left back, I'd have Laila K. Left center back, I'd have Lubusa. Right center back, I'd have Deruk. And right back, I know Madau played very well, but this is a game where I'd opt for Thapelo to start because of the pace, Mulenga, and how he likes to use his skill to penetrate through the defense. So I think when it comes to pace, Thapelo Morena could match him very well. And midfield, I would have Rivaldo Cotier, and I would start Tobin Vala with Rivaldo Cotier. Then I would have No Mayema playing slightly in front of them, and front three I'd have Maposa, Shalulile, and Temba.
Okay. Our lineups are actually quite similar, you know. And initially, I had gone for Mudau because I think he played well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he had a really good game, and I was going to start him again. But as you mentioned Mulenga, and I started thinking about the power runs Mulenga. He needs someone that can outpace him, you know. And yeah, I'm gonna make that change. Mine is Mweni. Morena now for Mudau, the Rook, Lebusa, Lake, and then midfield three, I'll have Riva, Mvala, and Jali, and then front three will be Mudiba, Zwane, and Shalulile. Your predictions?
I think we are going to win 2-1. I think they have a goal in them, but we will outscore them.
Who's scoring for you?
Shalulile will definitely open the scoreline, and Tobin Vala will score the second goal.
Okay. I'm going for 3-1. Like you, I also believe that they have a goal in them. I'm going for 3-1. I think Shika will score. He scored a hat-trick against them last season, the first 30 minutes. I think Shalulile will get a brace. So yeah, just like that, that's it, Masandawana. That's the first installment of the Yellow Corner for the new season. Continue subscribing, continue liking, and don't forget to comment with your preferred lineup. And yeah, thanks for watching. We will see you again sometime next week for the preview of our match versus Chippa United away. Cheers. Sharp, Ndogish.